In 1977, a radio telescope registered a signal so enigmatic that to this day it remains the greatest mystery in the search for intelligent life, the famous WOW signal. It lasted only 72 seconds, coming from the constellation of Sagittarius, but it was enough to forever mark the history of astronomy. Now, in July 2025, an interstellar comet named 3I Atlas has crossed the exact same region of the sky. Two extremely rare events, separated by nearly 50 years, yet connected by the same celestial point. A coincidence? Or have we just found the first concrete clue to explain the most famous enigma in radio astronomy? On the night of August 15, 1977, Jerry Emmon, a volunteer at the Big Ear Radio Telescope, was circling numbers with a red pen. What he had seen was no ordinary noise. It was a strong, clean signal detected at the precise frequency of hydrogen, considered the universal channel that any advanced civilization might use to communicate. It was as if someone had whispered hello directly from the heart of the Milky Way. The catch is that the telescope's beam was incredibly narrow, covering an area the size of your thumb held up against the sky. Nothing before, nothing after. No subsequent effort could reproduce the event. And so, for almost 5 decades, the WOW signal has remained the great cosmic question mark, fueling theories, books, documentaries, and hopes. Now, let's fast forward to July 2025, when telescopes in Chile detected something equally rare, an interstellar comet. Named 3I Atlas, it is traveling at 57 kilometers per second in a hyperbolic orbit, coming from some unknown point outside the solar system. This cosmic wanderer is crossing the planetary plane on a retrograde path, approaching the Sun at 1.36 astronomical units on October 29th, only to then disappear back into deep space. Objects of this kind are extremely rare. Before it, only 2 had been confirmed: Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. The surprise is that by calculating its trajectory backward, we discovered that Comet 3I Atlas crossed the very same region of the sky associated with the famous WOW signal. The same coordinates, the same patch of sky. Could this be the missing link? The answer, unfortunately, is not so simple. The WOW signal was recorded in 1977, and the comet only arrived here nearly half a century later. At the time of the event, 3I Atlas was still wandering through interstellar space, perhaps halfway to Alpha Centauri. Furthermore, radio telescopes do not register light reflected from a comet's ice or dust. They pick up intense, directed radio transmissions, something a comet does not naturally produce. Expecting a comet to be responsible for such a specific signal would be like expecting a snowball to put on a rock show. Even so, some scientists have speculated that a maser burst in a comet's halo could mimic a narrow peak. However, the problem is that the power required for this would surpass that of the Sun itself. And the profile of the WOW signal, its extremely high intensity, unique polarization, and stable frequency, does not match any known natural phenomenon. It was simply too clean, too precise to be a product of chance. What makes it all the more intriguing are the statistics. The region of the sky where both the comet and the signal coincide covers only 2.5 square degrees. To give you an idea, the entire visible firmament totals about 41,000 square degrees. This means the probability of this overlap happening by chance is exceedingly low. It's not an impossible lottery, but it's a coincidence rare enough to leave astronomers intrigued. If the comet were truly the source of the signal, it would require an almost science fiction scenario. A transmitter attached to it aimed at Earth, emitting hundreds of kilowatts, and then remaining completely silent for decades. Nothing we have observed in previous interstellar visitors resembles this. Another hypothesis is that the signal actually came from a fixed beacon in Sagittarius, and the comet simply crossed that region in 2025, drawing our attention to it once again. This possibility, though unlikely, cannot yet be dismissed. Meanwhile, 3I Atlas is already moving away quickly. By December 2025, it will be more than 2 astronomical units away, invisible to small telescopes. In parallel, the Breakthrough Listen initiative, the largest current project searching for extraterrestrial signals, has reobserved the WOW signal area with 10 times the sensitivity of the original radio telescope and has found only silence. Each new non-detection diminishes the chance that the 1977 event had an extraterrestrial origin, but it also deepens the mystery. After all, no satellite in 1977 transmitted on that frequency or exhibited the recorded Doppler curve. What we are left with, therefore, are 2 impressive stories that intersect without touching. On one side, an inexplicable, unique radio signal recorded almost 50 years ago and never repeated. On the other, a luminous interstellar visitor, crossing our cosmic neighborhood for the first and only time. The same point in the sky, but at different times. Coincidence still seems to be the simplest explanation, but astronomy has shown many times that simple answers can crumble in the face of new data. So, are we merely facing a statistical curiosity, or is the universe giving us fragmented hints, waiting for us to piece them together? The only certainty is that Sagittarius continues to keep its secrets, and perhaps at some point the cosmos will decide to offer us an unforgettable encore.